All right, we are going to talk a little bit more about verbs. So you've learned that subject is generally the who or the what of the sentence, and the verb is the action or what happens or what is. Sometimes the verbs need a helper to express tense, mood, or voice. And these helpers are called helping verbs or auxiliary verbs. I will be referring to them as helping verbs. So generally you will notice they're paired with another verb in a sentence. And so when you are determining these, you need to make sure that you select both verbs as the verb in your sentence. This is also referred to as a verb phrase. For example, if I have a sentence, I might say, I eat a donut or I ate a donut. But when I want to change it up a little bit and I say, I am eating a donut, that means it's currently happening. And I need that word am in there to make that work. I was eating a donut. This means it happened earlier today, maybe. In this case, I need the word was to make that clear. I have eaten a donut. I was eating a donut. I have that one on there twice. I had been eating a donut. These are all meant to help that word eat, eating, or eaten so that it makes sense with the tense, the mood, or the voice that I'm using. So I have a list on here of different helping verbs, and I'm not going to make you memorize this list right now. I want you to keep this handy so that you'll be able to refer to that to determine whether certain words in a sentence are helping verbs or not. So when you're determining the verb in a sentence, you're going to be sure to include any of these helping verbs. So you notice the sentence, I was speeding on my way to school. In this case, we learned that we get rid of the prepositional phrases like on my way and to school so that we don't look at those. They're not really part of the sentence, and that helps us to determine the subject and the verb. In this case, the who of the subject is I, and so that is your subject, and was speeding is your verb. And you notice that I've underlined both was and speeding. Another thing to remember about this is that the word not is never a verb. So we don't want to include that in our verb when we're locating that in a sentence. So don't underline not, and that would also include if you have a contraction in a sentence, the NT, you want to not underline that as well. So if I have the sentence, I was not speeding on my way to school, then you're going to have the same setup. On my way and to school are prepositional phrases. We get rid of those. I is your subject, and was speeding is still your verb. We don't do anything with not. We just leave that out, and it can just sit there and be itself. So I'm going to have you practice this now. We'll have a worksheet, and then we will have an assignment for today.